He escaped the death penalty after the Privy Council's controversial conclusion that his crime, killing a 16-year-old girl whose body he rolled over with a vehicle and burned, was, quote, not the worst of the worst, end quote. Today, Maxo Tido was resentenced, and as Fern Carey tells us, his new sentence reflected the judge's reaction to his level of remorse and prison record since his conviction.
Senior Justice John Isaacs has sentenced convicted murderer Maxo Tido to 60 years in prison for the brutal 2006 murder of 16-year-old Donnell Conover. However, Tido, who's in his early 30s, will only have to spend 52 years of jail time, as Justice Isaacs took into consideration the 8 years Tido has already served. Before sentencing, a probation officer indicated that Tido was abandoned by his mother at a young age, raised by his brother, and does not know his father. Factors, she said, negatively impacted his development. And despite Tido's quiet disposition, she said the former barber and handyman was involved in gang-related activities, smoked marijuana, and continues to break prison rules. The probation officer also stressed that Tido maintains his innocence and only feels guilty about not returning Conover to a home after a night out. In his plea in mitigation, attorney Richard Boodle asked the court to give Tido a second chance to make restitution for what he did to the family and society, saying there is no evidence to support the fact that Tido cannot be rehabilitated. He also begged the court for leniency. In sentencing Tido, Senior Justice John Isaacs described Conover's death as being notoriously harsh, noting that the teen was induced from a home in the night and her body found the next day. He said circumstances also suggest she had been bludgeoned, a car rolled over her head, and her body burnt. And while the Privy Council says the court must take into consideration the progress made by a convict, Justice Isaacs noted that Tido still breached prison rules, something which does not suggest he's seriously considering rehabilitating himself or will comply with society's rules. Justice Isaacs also expressed concern that Tido did not take responsibility for the crime and only regrets not returning Conover home safely, saying, quote, I haven't found in you true remorse. He then handed down the 60-year sentence, taking off 8 years for time served. Tido began serving the sentence from this Thursday. In court, Conover's family rejoiced silently as the sentence was handed down. A mother told reporters the family can finally move on with their lives. Fern Carey, ZNS News.